Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the cheapest podcast ever produced in the history of mankind. My name is Caleb Everett. This is my new podcast that I do from the forest in the Bighorn National Forest from my hammock, my new living quarters for now because shit's so freaking expensive. Today's podcast is being tagged by some kind of Samsung Galaxy S24 Mega Ultra, some kind of phone that I've never used in my life. But I've been tagging the cute little lady's sundresses for the last few podcasts, and suddenly they gave me the option to tag a Samsung Galaxy. And I've never used a Samsung Galaxy ever in my life, not once. I've seen people use them. I mean, I've gotten on my friends, but I don't know how to use them. But some people say Samsung Galaxies are a hell of a lot better phones, and they make fun of us iPhone people. Um, I've only ever used iPhone. It's not that I prefer it because I'm loyal to Apple at all, but that was the first one I ever got in 2008. That's what I recorded the Parker movie on, and it actually turned out. A lot of people say, "Holy crap, that was filmed or recorded in 2013. What'd you use?" Like iPhone 4, man. So, anyways, it's a nice, cool day here in the Bighorn Mountains, and we got a little bit of a rain last night. It was so lovely. The thunder, there's only about three or four big thunder rolls, and one of them, the first one woke me up. But I heard the rain hitting my tent, and it knocked me out. I was in heaven, absolute heaven. That light rain and those rolling thunder, and it cooled off even more. And oh my goodness, I slept so hard that I think I threw my back out. I've always had a bad back, but it's not the bulge disc that hurt, which always hurts. It's the muscle. So I don't know what I did. I slept funny, but I've only made one trip to my car. That's about a mile and a quarter over yonder. Went to town, got me a, a rotisserie chicken for $10.99, and I've splurged and got some sweets that I rarely ever do because I have to watch my girlish figure. And what else today? Something else I was going to mention. Oh, today's topic. I noticed just something I started doing yesterday. Just shit I find on Twitter. I didn't get on Twitter much today, but I was talking to Parker a lot and talked to a couple of my friends. And I've got a question for y'all. Is it is the price of property, the real estate where y'all are, just absolutely insane? In the comments, let me know where you're at and kind of your ballpark of if it's nuts. I downloaded a new app today, and I was looking around for prices, real estate prices. I'm going to live in the mountains somewhere, whether it's northwestern Wyoming or Montana or northern Idaho or possibly even eastern Oregon or Washington State. I'm not really sure. So far, I think it's going to be Wyoming, so that's where I was looking for prices. But oh my God, real estate is through the freaking roof. I haven't lived in a house in many, many years, courtesy of the family cord and the red, white, and blue that bends you over and just drills it in your ass. But I'm hopefully, knock on wood, about to make a mint here in the crypto market soon. As soon as Bitcoin will quit, messing around, going sideways. And I thought, well, I'll just look at real estate prices, and oh my gosh, it's nuts. Like 50, $75,000 for a lot, just a lot. You can buy some like land, like 15 acres in the mountains, but you got to buy like 20 or 30 acres, and it's like 25,000. But it's on the side of a mountain. There's no flat area. You couldn't park a car there, or certainly not build a house on it. So that got me to looking on this app. I pulled up the very first house that I ever bought. And that was in the year 1997. Yes, I'm that damn old. and it was in Odessa, Texas, where the Parker movie happened. And I pulled up. The house that I lived in wasn't for sale, but I found one like 3 or 4 or 5 blocks away. In 1997, I mean, this thing was built in mid 50s, early 60s. It was old when I bought it, or I thought it was. It's really old now. But a comparable house, and I've looked at the picture, it looks real similar to it. It's in the same neighborhood. I paid 52.5, I believe, 52,500 for this very small 3 bedroom, 2 bath house on, I don't know, just a lot, not, like a quarter acre or something. And I paid 52.5. That house that I pulled up for a comp now, $265,000 for basically the same house. And so I got to thinking, the last house that I lived with the kid's mother in was in Midland, Texas. And I bought it in 2006. And it was a nice house, real nice, like 3,500 square feet or something. Big 4 bedroom, 2 bath, or maybe 3 bath. I don't even remember. Big. It wasn't on a very big lot. It was in a neighborhood. About the same size lot, eighth of an acre, quarter acre. It was small. They measure it in square feet. It was so small. But I gave $250,000 for it in 2006. $600,000 for a house just like it, one street over. It went from 250 to 600,000 in from 2006 till now. So anyway, that just blew me away. So let me know in the comments how real estate is in your area and how you're coping, because the way I'm coping is I'm living on top of a mountain in that. That's my mansion right there. Look at that. That's that's the thumbnail on the video you clicked on to watch this today. It's in the middle of sticks. And the ornery little squirrels that like to come around and chew logs and throw shit on me. And yeah, it's not the nicest of things. It's certainly not as nice as the houses I used to live in, but would you look at that view? Is that not the prettiest view? I talked to a local and I figured out which one of these mountains is Cloud Peak. And you can't even see it right now. You can actually see where that white line is. That is the bottom of Cloud Peak. The top of Cloud Peak is literally in the clouds. That's the sun you're seeing through it, and then the land's below it. But anyway, yeah, this is my view. This is what I pay precisely $0 a month to live in. And I see about, on average, maybe 1-2 people a day. There's a little trail that runs along there. And people come out and they'll trail. And I see a few more than that, but I only run into and actually talk to like maybe one person a day. 2 if there's a group. Oh, this is my hammock. This is where I spend the majority of my day. That hammock I got at REI for about, I don't remember how much, like probably 100, 120 bucks, but it's rated for 400 pounds, or the average one American. Speaking of 400-pound Americans, did y'all see that new Miss Alabama? Holy moly. The beach whales are winning the beauty pageants now, and she's now become Miss McDonald's, and she's going to try to run for the Miss America or Miss Universe or something. And I ain't going to be tuning in for that bikini contest, I guarantee you that. So, this is the podcast where people who are always wanting to know a little more about me, you can ask me anything you want. The only questions I will not answer are how my kids are today, other than to say they're fine. Their ages 25, 23, 21, and 19, or will be here in like, the last 3's all born in June, so they all got birthdays coming up, turning another year older. They're all grown. It's no big secret. My daughter and I, she won't speak to me, hasn't in 4 years. Yes, I'm upset about it. No, I'm not letting it get me down anymore. The boys and I are all fine. Everybody's doing their thing. And they've got their private lives now. And I've had some people in the comments say, well, I'm not even going to come here. I don't like what you won't talk about. That's the only reason your channel's anything, because you're talking about your kids. If you don't talk about it now, I'm going to unsubscribe from you, Caleb. You just go right ahead. and ask me if I care, because I don't. I don't care if I lose 1,000 subscribers. I don't care if I lose 10,000 subscribers. I don't care if I lose 100,000 subscribers. I'm not talking personal information about my cheerings. I'll talk about me. I'll fill in the gaps of, things that's already in the public domain. I don't mind talking about that. But I'm not going to get into relationship with my kids and their mom, or their mom and anything. I'm just not talking about the current stuff. I don't know anything about their mom anymore. I hadn't seen her in years, and that just suits me fine. But I'm not. I'm sure most of y'all, and I'm being a little facetious, because I know most of y'all are reasonable people, and you wouldn't ask that anyways. But there's always these asshole dickhead trolls that think they're gonna get me to go, oh no, I'm gonna lose a subscriber. I don't care. I'm not like the average YouTuber. Notice I don't get on here. I mock them quite a bit. I get on here frequently. Like and subscribe, guys. Smash that like button, guys, because y'all are too stupid to smash it anyways. So I gotta remind you and waste your time all the time. And email this to all your friends and family and annoy the piss out of them and wind up getting a divorce over it. No, if you want to like and subscribe, great. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm fine with it. I have learned in these years of living, these 47 years, I used to be a people pleaser, and by my nature, I do enjoy being kind to people, and I will always be kind to anyone on here who is kind to me. Even if we don't agree on something, even if we vehemently disagree, if you're kind to me, I will be kind to you. But make no mistake about it. If you come at me being a total cockwad, I promise you, I will get to be just as big of a cockwad and just as much of an asshole, because I don't care about people who I wouldn't want to be around anyways in real life if I keep them as a subscriber not. I've learned to just be me. And if I'm just me, then the people that I enjoy, like Mazin, for instance, or Dannon, or Miss Mary, or the people that I know. Some of them I've met in person, some of them I haven't. I just like them, and we disagree on some things, and it's okay. We have a good time, but we're kind, and half the time the shit I'm talking about, I'm just fucking around anyways. I'm just laughing because I like to joke. Some say that people that use humor are covering the pain, and they're probably right, because this life has kicked me in the ass, and I know it's kicked a lot of y'all in the ass. That's probably the reason most of y'all found my channel, because I don't know how many times I've read this on my channel. Hey, I watched your Parker movie. That happened to me too. That happened to me too. That's how y'all got here. We've all been through some pain. So, yeah, I use humor quite a bit. Beats the shit out of using drugs and bullshit alcohol and being a fat fucker, being a big lazy sack of shit and getting addicted to pills and booze and ruining your life and wind up dying too early and leaving your kids to fend for themselves. So, people say that, and it works for me, if you laugh a lot, you'll tend to live a little longer. So, yeah, that's me. So, anyways, I'm going to start at the very beginning, because I've got 500,000 subscribers, and I never get very many lives or people that watch it live. I get a few people that watch it later, but not live for whatever reason. And I don't want to run out of comments, so I'm going to start at the beginning, and I'll just make my way down. Williams Best YT. Feeding the horses while watching this. Cool, you and Parker both. Daddy's little girl says hi. Hello, Dan and Daytera. How are you? Zach W, how are you doing? I'm finer than frog hair. Naomi Wayne says hi, Dannon. I watch YouTube videos of people camping in the rain. They're so nice and relaxing. They really are. It's nice. Yeah, it's a little intimidating the first night because you hear all the bear stories, and especially, I don't know if y'all watched that thing happened about a couple months ago. It lasted for a couple months, about some dude interviewing these women. Who would you rather be running to, a man or a bear in the woods? And the women were all choosing the bear. So we had a lot of fun making fun of the feminists for choosing the bear, for being that damn ignorant. Anyway, you get out here and you watch a bunch of. I did watch a bunch of bear YouTube videos. I want to know what kind of bears around here, what to expect, how to defend myself, blah blah blah. Don't leave food out, that sort of thing. Though the first night's a little intimidating, just a little bit. You hear something scratch like or a hoof or something. You're like, please just be a big deer, because the big deer is just going to run if it sees me. But if it's a big old moose or something, it could stomp my ass. J4MY, or I guess that's Jamie, says, hello, Zach W. Yes, real estate is nuts in South Carolina. Good to know. Williams Best YT, real estate near Austin, where I am, is insane. I bet. Well, Austin's right in the middle of the Texas Triangle, San Antonio, DFW, and Houston. So I've driven I-35, I don't know how many times, and ugh, can't stand it. That was just a joke, okay, YouTube? Please don't whack me for that. Don't zap me for that. I'm just kidding. Caitlin Burleson just got done watching Parker's video. Hopefully everything worked out for y'all's family. In the long run, Caitlin, it did. It didn't for a long time. I'm not going to lie. I still hold a little bit of bitterness and resentment for what happened to us. But overall, we made it. I'm no longer an alcoholic. And I know that's controversial to a lot of people. People say, well, Caleb, once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. I vehemently disagree. I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. So I'm real thankful for that. And I know that pisses a lot of people off, but I don't know what to tell you. That's just something you've been told. Somebody made that up, and they told you in like AA people. I'm not shitting on AA, but AA people, somebody made that up, Bill W. or whatever, and they told a bunch, that's a mosquito from hell. Somebody told that, and they said, oh, they did just stuck. Well, I'm telling you now, I'm not an alcoholic. I used to be, but I'm not. So there. Zach W. Tennessee and South Carolina are crazy. I hear it's crazy hot there too. Jamie, yes, I live in Malta, a small island in Europe, and home prices here are through the roof as well. What part of Europe? I'm curious, Jamie. Tree Boy, how's everything been? I'm nice and cool. Y'all see I've got my light jacket on. Not cold. A little cold at night, but I'm fine. Tree Boy, it's been great. Regina's Retro Reviews, prices and houses are so crazy. Where are you at, Regina's Retro Reviews? Williams Best, I love that he reads comments. Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, literally ask me anything except how much earnings are doing. Zach W., the economy in the U.S. housing market is ridiculous everywhere at the moment. I was on my Facebook today and I was talking to some people, and the only place I found so far that anybody responded that was somewhat reasonable is Oklahoma. I don't know why, but to me, it's still in the South. It's too close to Texas, so nope, I ain't going. Tree Boy, do you take donations? I don't like whine for them, but I mean, if you want to chip in on the little, this is how bad of a YouTuber I am. I don't even know what it's called. There's a button that you can chip in, and if you want to, great. If not, I'm sure I've got a link in there somewhere. If you want to throw in Ethereum, great. But I'm okay. Yes, I'm technically homeless, but I've got like 20 grand tied up in my crypto account that I'm just waiting. Rick Berg, are you? Living is living, bro. I'm not sure what that means. Tree Boy, did you buy that land? I wish. No. Just because I've got 500,000 subscribers does not mean I'm rich. Not by a long shot. I've been through the family court. You don't divorced fathers 9 times out of 10 don't make it out through the family court without much more than the shirt on their backs. Regina's Retro Reviews, those mountains are beautiful. Yes, they most certainly are. I genuinely, I think that's why I sleep so well. I love the mountains and I love the trees. I genuinely think it's the physical wood. I really think it's the wood that's near me, and there's something about I think that's why I sleep so well. That and the cool air. Gen X Granny. Made alive. Hello, everyone. Hello, Gen X Granny. I'm Gen X, not grandpa. Knock on wood, I don't want to be a grandpa anytime soon. Thank the gods I'm not yet. Tree Boy, did you choose to live here or have to? Kind of both. I've been living out of hotels, or I was. I mean, I've still technically have that tiny house, little cheap junky house down South Florida, but Blaine's in it and it's real small and it's just too hot. I stayed there through the winter, but waiting on this crypto. The crypto bull run started, end of last year, and while it was, cool there, I stayed there, but I just can't stay there anymore. But I'm not pulling out any more of any what little savings I've managed to scrape together after all these years. I'm not pulling out any just to stay in a hotel and have the comforts of home. Screw that. I thought, screw it. I'll just get my backpack and my tent and just find a mountain. And that's sure shit. That's what I did. I scouted around several towns. Went to Pinedale and spent the winter in Clark, which is just north of Cody, Wyoming. Stayed a little time in Cheyenne, a day or two in Casper. Now I'm here near Buffalo in the Bighorn Mountain area. And I just chose a place that had just enough internet so I can keep up with my friends and my crypto and do my lives, and just far enough away that I don't have to be around people. So that's why I'm here. The Penetrator. Never to let your girlfriend stop you from finding your future wife. Okay, well, I've got neither, so. John Zapata, you into black women? I'm not. Kirsten says, hi. Sob JCO1, I'm watching my football game, Brahmas versus Battlehawks. Enjoy it. Hi, Caleb, I'm back. Happy Ice Skate. How do you like Wyoming? I'm not leaving. It'd have to be a hell of a good deal for me to leave Wyoming. My brother-in-law went hunting there years ago as a graduation present. Yeah, if you like the outdoors and being secluded and not having a lot of conveniences that big cities have, or even any kind of metropolitan area, if you like that, then you'll love it here. But if you don't like the snow and you don't like not ever seeing people, like you just almost never see anybody, if you don't like snow, don't come here because it gets colder than a witch's titty in a brass bra. Jayla Anaya Perez, where are you? I am in Bighorn National Forest in northern Wyoming, USA. Jamie, mind if I ask why London hasn't spoken to you in so long? That's borderline what I won't talk about, but she just disapproved with how I handled the divorce, and that's about all I can say. Um, I mean, there wasn't anything that just happened. It's not like we got in a big fight and a slap or anything. I've never touched her. I've never yelled at her. I mean, that's was part of what bugs me. We were so tight. And then she's turned 15 and a half and just figured out I'm, I really can't say any more than that, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't like there was a big fight. It's just best I can tell is she doesn't approve how, and I understand it. That's her mom, and I humiliated her mother, but her mother, in my opinion, deserved it. Sob JCO, what year were your kids born? 99, 01, 03, 05. Sir Ben, he's back. No way, I don't know what that means. Dannon, he won't talk about his kids' relationship with people. Yes, thank you. Jamie, Malta is just south of Sicily. Wow, that is just so cool. I watch a YouTuber, and I forgot her name. Mama's Kitchen or Mama's Cooking, or it's real simple. And she never, and it's not in Sicily, but it's, forgive my American ignorance, somewhere in the Mediterranean area. Again, forgive my ignorance. But all she does is cook, and she never says a word. And she cooks. She doesn't use any electric mixers or knives. I mean, everything is a wood rock oven, or she burns wood in a rock oven, and she cooks everything from scratch and by hand. And she'll have these 20, 30, 40-minute videos, and her grandchildren help her. And that's what they'll cook all this exotic food, and at the end they all sit down like a family and they all eat, and half the food comes off of their own farm. And I don't remember. I wish I won't. No, it wasn't. I take that back. It was. I'll tell you what. if I can remember to, I'll look her up. It wasn't in the Mediterranean. It was, I don't remember, somewhere on the other side of the world. But anyway, that just reminded me of it. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the comments. Sob JC, yeah, cheering for my UFL team Brahmas. Okay. Regina's retro reviews. I'm in Michigan. Nice. I was just talking about Michigan. I was talking to Parker about it. Regina's retro reviews. I'm sure if you're from there, you've heard of the UP, the Upper Peninsula. I ran into a couple that down at the river, and they're from Michigan. They said, "Well, if you like secluded and you don't mind the cold and about 15 feet of snow a year, go up to the UP." It's like, what's the UP? They said the Upper Peninsula. And they showed it to me on the map. And they said almost nobody lives there because it is cold and you get the lake effect snow. So I'm like, maybe I might. Mally, hi, Caleb. I've watched the Parker videos so many times, and I still am so proud of him and you for making it through all that. Congrats on overcoming alcoholism. Well, thank you, Mally. I genuinely appreciate that more than you may know. I'm not proud of a whole lot, but I'm damn proud of myself for becoming free of alcohol 100%. Williams Best YT, will you answer what kind and how many horses Caleb has? I have zero. If you're talking about Parker, I couldn't tell you. He he buys them, he trains them, he sells them, he shoes them for other people, he trains them for other people. I couldn't tell you. I'm not a horse person. Yes, Parker. Happy ice skate. I gave up drinking. It's dangerous. I have cerebral palsy and it makes me fall all over the place. Well, even if you didn't have cerebral palsy, and I'm sorry to hear that, I don't recommend alcohol for anything, like nothing whatsoever. Gen X Granny, have you been to Huntsville, Alabama? It's a beautiful city. I've driven through it. I haven't spent any time there, but I've driven through it. Hello, Dorian Mabry. What's up, man? Gen X Granny, I graduated in '88 from Robert E. Lee. Well, you remember, it wasn't too long ago. I wouldn't be surprised if your alma mater, your old high school, it probably changed the name because of cancel culture. There's actually a Robert E. Lee High School in Midland, Texas, which is the neighboring town for I grew up in Odessa, and I think they had made them change the name too. Julius Price. I'm going through a very nasty and abusive divorce. My wife has verbally and mentally abused me for 5 years. We have a 1 year old and I fear for him. Any advice would be helpful, brother. Oh my. Well, I used to go into a lot more detail. Well, sorry, the thing jumped on me. Something, Julius Price. I lost it. Oh, any advice on? I, in some of my older podcasts from summer of 2022, I talked about that. Main thing is stay sober, do not panic, be careful hiring a lawyer because they're and never trust your lawyer fully ever. I don't care who they are, even if it's your own family member. Never trust them fully because they're all part of the system, all of them. They're all ultimately rely on the system staying in place. So you'll never always get everything you want necessarily, especially if you're the dude. Um, at 1 year old, man, brace yourself. You have got to make a shitload of money. While the baby's that young, again, I don't know the details. When the babies are that young, they do need their mother more. And that's a point of contention with a lot of fathers' rights people. They get irritated when I say that, but I don't give a shit. And obviously, unless if the mother's physically and horribly abusive, obviously that's always an exception. But assuming she's at least decent with as far as being a mom, babies need their moms. As they get older, though, and you need frequent contact. But as they get older, um, I have found as long as you'll have frequent contact every other weekend, I know it sucks and I don't agree with it. I think 50-50 or the parents work it out on their own. But if you at least keep some kind of continuity. Stay sober, stay in the gym, don't go out a whole lot, go to work, make money, stay focused because your kid's going to need you sharp and in shape to protect them. Julia May, hello, I've been watching your videos ever since your son stood up for himself. I'm proud of him. Tell him that for me. I will, thank you. Excuse me. I hope you're doing fine. Are you camping? It looks so nice out there. Yes, I'm actually living here. Like, I sold my house and I've got it all invested in cryptocurrency at the moment. And I know that's crazy, but I've just lived a crazy life and I'm just a crazy son of a bitch. But yeah, not only am I camping, I'm living here. And it's weird to, I go back and forth. Should I, go get a normal job or and fight the rat race? But what little I make off of YouTube, which isn't a lot, it's enough to eat. And I enjoy being out here because, I mean, look at this place. It's nice and cool. I'm sure everybody that's on here, you're outside, if you're not in the mountains somewhere right now or in the southern hemisphere, you're probably sweating your ass off. And I'm simply not because I'm in the mountains. So thank you, Julia. Sob Jace01 was London born, 99. No, that was Parker. Dorian Mabry. No, okay, yeah. Thank you, Dorian. Annie, how do you still talk to Parker and hang out with him? Oh yeah, we talk every day. Parker and I we're like buds. We're like friends now. I hadn't seen him in a while, but he lives in Texas. And I told him I ain't coming to see you anymore. You come see me, get your ass up here, or it's cool off. I'm tired of I put my life off enough raising the little shit. He can come see me, but no, Parker and I are great. Happy Ice Skate. I'm 26 and I have an older brother who's older than you are. That's a hell of a spread. Your mama spread them out over 20 years. Wow. If I had a 1 year old right now, I think I'd just off myself. I couldn't handle it. Daddy Slothington. Wait, there's no way you're Parker's dad. Holy shit, this is nostalgia. Yeah, I'm Parker's dad. Dan and all the kids are grown and doing well. Yes. By the way, Dannon's one of my mods, and thank you for that. Alicia Lawson, that's good. Natalia Tilliland, there's a spider behind you. Are you jacking with me, or is there really a spider? Because there really are spiders out here. Somebody said they saw Sasquatch behind me. I'm not worried about I'm not scared of spiders. They don't eat much. Jamie, hope you can have a good relationship with London again someday. As do I. I pray to God that either her heart softens or my heart softens or both. Somehow I'm looking forward to it. Blaine born in 03. Yes. Dorian Mabry, I'm doing great. Good deal. Nick Ted. Um, Thoughts on marijuana versus alcohol for young adults? Neither if you can help it, but if you had to have one or the other, marijuana by far. I used to think and be in the camp of that all marijuana is all good and there's no bad side effects, and I'm starting to find some research that that's not necessarily true. However, I would much rather people use marijuana than drink alcohol. And you smoke a doobie, you eat a few gummies, you have a few laughs, you get the munchies, and you go to sleep. And you wake up next day and you're rested, and by golly, no hangover, nothing. But you got to be careful if you do it too much, too often, especially too young. There are some side effects, and it does hinder. I've seen firsthand, and I can't say how I know that, but it does hinder you. So, yeah. I certainly don't think it ought to be illegal by any means. I'm glad that the states are legalizing it, and not that I want to promote people to get on it just to go get high. Not at all. But I just don't believe in throwing people in jail over holding a plant. Scullator. Yep, I gave it up after I fell off a train vessel. Woke up in intensive care. I assume you mean alcohol? God dang. I don't know what a train trestle is. I assume that's a bridge of some kind. Well, I'm glad you quit. I mean, some of us have to learn the hard way, don't we? I had to learn the hard way about getting married to a crazy woman and going through the family courts. Frankie B, I'm 600 days sober next weekend. Keep going, brother. Hell yeah, Frankie B. I'm glad. That really makes me happy to hear. I can't wait for all the alcohol companies to go broke because most of them are owned by politicians and actors. Natalia, Dana, thank you for taking care of that. I genuinely appreciate that. Natalia Tillalin, there's a spider behind you. You've already told me that. I don't care. They won't eat much. Nicola Iverson, watching from Norway. I was just talking to Parker about Norway. I said, in a nutshell, I said I ain't coming to see you down there, but I'm always going to either live in Northern Europe or the Rocky Mountains in the United States. That's awesome, man. I can't wait to visit Norway. There's a YouTube chick that I watch occasionally, and she makes the most beautiful. I think she's from Norway, real far north, where it like part of the, I don't know if it's summer or probably part of the winter. It doesn't have any sunlight for like a week or two or maybe a month, and she makes the most beautiful YouTube videos. I love it. Kate Murray, any advice for a lost 23-year-old? What do I do with my life in a world as turbulent as this? Well, Kate, not knowing anything about you or any more details than that, I would say I'm just going to guess you're single. I'm going to guess you're childless. And I'm going to guess you might have a little money, but not a whole lot of money. Guess you might not have traveled much. I would go camping. If I got to do it all over again and as fucked up as this world is now, you can go to REI. You can buy online, or they do have in stores. You can walk in line, and you can get some camping stuff at Walmart, and the basics, rope, soap, dope stuff. You can get it a lot cheaper, but you can go to REI and you really get. There's loads of YouTube videos where you can get all people show you how to fit your pack and how do you measure things in grams and what to buy, what to pack, what to, you can't pack too much because it gets too heavy. But if you don't pack enough, then you run out. There's people that do the Appalachian Trail. They'll start in the mountain in, I forgot the name of it, northern Georgia, and they'll walk that thing. Young people too, younger than you. And old people, like in their 70s, have walked the Appalachian Trail from northern Georgia all the way to Maine. And there's another one that's called the Transcontinental or the Continental Divide Trail, goes from basically somewhere around El Paso, Texas, all the way to Canada. And then there's the Pacific Rim Trail that goes from Southern California all the way to the border of Canada and Washington State. And again, you asked without any more detail. I'm just giving you something what I would do if I was a young person and didn't was kind of lost and sick of city life or hoods and drugs and an asshole parent and or whatever asshole ex boyfriend or girl or whatever. Go camping. When you get out into this. I mean, I'm going to turn this around. When you get out into this and you're swinging in this and you're sleeping in that and you're hanging your food up in your nap. Mine's down at the moment, but I got a rope there. You hang your food up in the sack so the bears don't get it. And you climb these mountains and you go miles at a time in a day. You buy these little filters. You can buy at the REI. You get these little handy dandy tiny filters. You can pick up stream water, and you filter it through your bottle and drinking the water like right out the fucking ground. There is nothing more exhilarating, and you get in shape, and you learn how to be efficient. You learn not to be wasteful with your food. You appreciate where your food comes from. You get to see all kinds of wildlife, and then you get to meet people on the trail who enjoy nature and the slowing down of society that gets rid of all the Instagram bullshit in our society today. So, Kate, if I were you, that's what I would do. I've done boating too. I lived on a sailboat. As soon as 2020 hit, when the whole world was falling for the propaganda of COVIDs, I didn't fall for it ever. Got a hefty check lucked out, got a hefty check, and I bought a $10,000 sailboat. And I took some sailing lessons. I got ASA certified 101, 103, and 104. And I bought a little $10,000 sailboat, little 29-foot full keel out in Fort Pierce, Florida. Lived on it for a couple years. Had a blast. Tiny, tiny, almost no room. I had the best time. I'd go out in the ICW and just take a week or 10 days worth of food. I'd toss my anchor out there and I would just float. And I'd cook my coffee in the morning and I'd dump the coffee grounds over because it's legal and it's organic. And I'd have my food and I'd just fish a little bit and watch the kite surfers, watch the dolphins, watch the stingrays, text my friends, bullshit with people, make little videos. You know, the it's kind of the opposite of being in the mountains, but it's still outdoors. So that's what I do, Kate. Um, Hope that helped. Sock, what's up, my Sock? You almost got me. Just loving life, man. Mark O. Glazer's out. Kayla, do you support the LGHD TV community? I have no idea what that is, so probably not. I don't know. But what is it? Julia May, you're welcome. I've been camping. It's good to be out in nature. I would love to live out in the nature, in the trees and the woods. I think it would be awesome. I was thinking about buying an RV. Well, Julia, you and me both. As soon as my ship comes in, knock on wood, if it does, I'm getting me a new pickup. I'm gonna get me a fifth wheel, and that's why I started out this podcast with the insane real estate prices. I don't have it. Even if I made $1 million, I'm still not buying in this because I've been doing some research, and apparently real estate. I don't know if y'all know this. Real estate goes in cycles as well. And there's this thing called the 18.6 year real estate cycle, meaning from point low here over a course of roughly 14 years, real estate goes up. And then it falls down for about 4 years. And then it goes up and then 14 years and comes down 4 years. The last crash was in '08. Well, guess what's coming up and be the 18.6 years? 2026. It's coming up. And I don't blame you. I'd go get an RV. Um, Only boomers and OnlyFans whores can afford this kind of crazy real estate 'cause I can't. Happy Ice Skate, my state was the 22nd state to legalize recreational marijuana. Is it up to 22? I didn't realize there's that many. Is London a teenager? Yes. There's Panna. Hey everyone, how you been doing? Nikolai Iverson. Yeah, I also don't have any sunlight for many days in the winter. I live in northern Norway. Nikolai, I'm going to come see you because that just sounds amazing to me. I assume you get to see the northern lights frequently. Supposedly, the northern lights were shining around here about a month ago, but a lot of people think it was just HARP and the government doing some bullshit. Kate Murray, you should visit South Africa and try out our version of camping, by the way. I have thought about that. When I was on my sailboat, Kate, in Fort Pierce, my slip neighbors, he and his wife are from South Africa, and so I got to talk to them. Super, super nice people. They and his father and his both of his parents, they both came over separately on separate boats. One was, I think, one of them brought a catamaran, one of them was a single hull, and they fixed boats here, and they're trying to save up enough money to sail back home. So I don't know a whole lot about South Africa, but I've heard it's really pretty. I heard there's some crazy shit in some certain areas, but cheese and cheese. Michael has changed his life around from GTA. Is that a gamer joke? I don't know what that means. Panna, Maybe now that you're only responsible for yourself, you should do the Appalachian Trail. I would, except it starts in the south, and I've made a commitment. Unless it's an emergency with one of my cheerings, I just have no desire to be in the south anymore. Um, I wanted to do the Appalachian Trail, but the East Coast, there are some beautiful places. However, it's just too crowded. To be quite honest with you, Panna, once I found this place, it's so quiet and it's so pretty and it's so secluded and there's no traffic. And when I go to the grocery store, there's no lines. There's hardly even any traffic lights. I think there's three in the town I'm near. I just can't bring myself to drive, but I don't know. Who knows? Y'all know how me. I change my mind all the time. Kate Murray, that sounds incredible. I'd love to tell you about our trails and wilderness. I am a long way from the U.S. Well, I mean, if you're in South Africa, I mean, that's a big ass continent. I'm sure you've got some trails. I'd have at it. Okay. I'm not going to do the whole sports thing. That's just not my thing. Happy Ice Skate. My brother said when he retires, he's going to cash in his 401k and buy a sailboat. There's loads of sail. My favorite sailing channel is. Ugh, I hate it when I do this. It's a guy, I've been following him since he started his channel about 4 or 5 years ago. I'll put that in the comments too. If y'all remind me in the comments, hey Caleb, what was that sailboat guy? I'll look it up. It's right on the tip of my tongue. For his very first solo, he sailed like a 25 foot. That's a very small boat. 25 foot, I think is a full keel, from California to Hawaii, and he documented it. I don't even think he had his own channel. I think he put it on someone else's channel, and then he made his own. And man, he sails all over the world now. He's last time I checked, he was in Europe, but when I was in South Florida, I'd sold my boat, but I was inland and bought a tiny house, the one Blaine's in Okeechobee. He sailed right by my old stomping grounds in the ICW. My boat was in one of his videos. That's what it was. I sold my boat to an old man, and he was filming going through the raising bridge there on the North Bridge in Fort Pierce, and I saw my own sailboat in his video. I thought it was cool. If you'll hey, was it Happy Ice Skate? If you'll remind me in the comments once this goes live on, or not live, but once it's posted on the channel, um, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I don't know him personally, but anyway, if you'll remind me, I'll tell you. You can give it to your brother, Renee Pina Medina. Hey, Caleb, Kelly. Hi, Caleb. How you doing? I'm wearing a jacket, sitting in a hammock. How are you? Leo O'Brien, Caleb, how are you doing, man? How's the gymming? Well, Leo, there's no gym out here. That's one downside. However, it's about I don't know, 400 foot rise from where I'm at to. It's hard. It doesn't look like it from here, but that's a really steep. That's a long ways down. And way over there is where I'm parked. So every time I make this trip at least twice a day, sometimes three or four, and I can't get up the hill without huffing and puffing. So that's how I'm basically doing the leg day every single day. Um, I like diesel RVs better than gas RVs. I've never had one. I think I'm just going to go with the fifth wheel because I just don't want to live inside the only vehicle that I drive. Kelly, I'm doing fine. Well done. Diesel engines last longer than gas engine. That is true. Generally, if you take care of them, they're more expensive to maintain, but generally, yes, they have a hell of a lot more torque. Valakith, man, you just need a joint. Well, if I was a weed smoker, I would. I've smoked a few joints in my life, but I've just never really liked it. I mean, if I'm going to do any kind of drugs, it's going to be LSD. I love acid, like love it. Hit it about maybe 2 or 3 times a year, about every 3 or 4 months. like especially when you're out in the forest and you're in your tent. Oh my God, it is a trip. I'll put on Enya and I'll put it on like on repeat and I'll listen to A Day Without Rain on repeat and just trip balls and I love it. And then I wake up and there's no hangover and I have no urge to do it again for a long, long time because it opens my mind and just makes me feel better. You can solve the world's problems. Last time I did it about 3 or 4 months ago, I took like 4 hits and this new shit that my drug dealer chick got for me. Wow, that I don't know what they're doing, but it was strong. And I don't know if y'all ever trip balls on acid, but I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I felt like I was in 1997 again. It was, oh, it's starting to rain on me a little bit. I don't care about me as much as I don't want to get my phone wet. Yeah, well, we'll see. I might have to let you go. I'm not sure. Ben HD, there's this new punk band called Defiant that consists of old members from The Offspring, Smash Mouth, and Mighty Mighty Bosstones, and they are very libertarian. You should check them out. Really? I thought, okay, now I know they fired their drummer because he's a libertarian guy, and I can't think of his name either. I know his name. I wonder if that's the same guy. Damn it. These some big old fat raindrops. And they're chilly. There's not a lot of them, but they're chilly. I do love the Offspring, except when they went all stupid during COVID. They really pissed me off. I mean, what kind of punk rock band says, okay, let's do what the government says and shut it down? That was lame. Lame, lame, lame. Shame on Offspring for doing that, except for their drummer. He stood on principle. Jamie, which countries will you be visiting once you come to Europe? Probably all of them. All of them that I can stand and afford to go to. Cape Mary, South Africa could be an incredible, affordable travel destination for you. The exchange rate is $1 to R18. You could even get some luxury lodge camping in there. I just might do it, Kate. Like seriously, I may do it. Carmine Sanders. Hi, Carmine. Julia May. Have you heard any coyotes or any wolves out there at night? Do you have a lake next to you or a river? I went fishing. I had a blast. I would love to go back with nature. Can I build a fireplace? I haven't heard any. I think they're here. I think I've heard people talk about. I haven't heard any. They're obviously not as much of a nuisance. I mean, nobody acts like. I mean, I know I grew up around coyotes. They're everywhere in West Texas, but there's I do know there's mountain lions here, but I haven't seen any. Haven't even heard any. Nikolai Koplian, Apple is much easier to use. I assume you mean the phone. That's what I think. I've watched people use their Samsungs, which is what again is the tagged product on this video. If you decide to buy it, they give me 8% of that $1,200 you'd spend on it, and I never bought a Samsung, so I don't know if that's a good deal or not. I have no clue. All right, kiddies. Well, we made it to the end of the comments. So, Phoenix Heat, nice try. They're doing well, but I'm not going to talk about that. Dannon just zapped you because you got to read. It says, ask me anything except how much you're doing. Kate Murray, thanks for the chat. Caleb, all the best. Hit me up when you decide to come visit. I sure will. I'll make it. I promise if I do, am fortunate enough to make it, anywhere I go, I will make announcements on this channel. And, yep, Dan nailed it. I'll arrange it all. Sounds good, Kate. All right, kiddies, I'm out of here. I need to go anyways. I got to charge my phone, and I can hear the rain's coming. All right, got to go. Consider not hearing children. Bye.